first of all, I appreciate you guys taking the time of your day just to join us and go through this webinar. It's the third webinar of the series we've been doing. This, I guess, we started last month. So the first one was about SEO, search engine optimization, and how you can get your website to rank higher on Google. The second one was about Google Ads, what you can do with Google for search ads, display ads, all those things. And today we're going to be talking about social media strategies for law firms. There's a lot to cover here. We did our best to make this as digestible and to the point. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. So as you've been seeing the screen for a while now, so we're going to be talking about how you can grow your online presence with social media, especially now during the COVID-19 pandemic. There we go. So the agenda for today, I'm going to briefly cover who we are. We're going to talk about your online presence and how much it matters, why social media is important. I'm going to talk about ways you can optimize your social media profiles and posts. I'm going to cover what kind of posts you can do. I'm also going to talk about the difference between organic and paid posts. So organic is non-paid posts that you can do on social media. And I'm also going to talk about insight and analytics, which is just the ways that Facebook track your data. So first of all, about Soulpepper, we are not your typical digital marketing agency. We specialize in local business, particularly law firms. More than 50% of our clients are law firms. We have, I think right now, close to 35 different lawyers across North America, not just in one city or one province or a state. We're pretty diverse and also diverse in the areas of practice we market. Our specialties, it's online advertising, SEO, and web design, but we do everything in between that as well. So we do social media planning, optimization, social media marketing as well. We've been in business since 2013, so 7 years now, and we pride ourselves in being able to drive qualified leads to our clients. So that's like one of the biggest difference for us in this competitive market. This is our team. I'm on the top right. My name is Lucas. I should have introduced myself at the beginning. So my name is Lucas. I'm an account director here at Soulpepper. I've been on the team for about almost a year now. I have over 10 years of experience with digital marketing. Work in other agencies. I worked in-house in the past as well. In printed publications. We have a very fine team here. We're based in Vancouver, BC, in Canada. We haven't seen each other in person for the last 2 months because we've been working remotely, but our team is fully active and working hard. So this year, this is what I call like our badge of honors. So I'll highlight a few of them just because I think it's important for everyone to see what Soulpepper is all about. So the top left one, we are a Google Premier Partner. We were selected to represent Google based on our performance of our campaigns, the type of clients we work with, the relationship we build with clients as well. So what that does, it gives us access to a dedicated Google rep to help us out with our accounts. So they give us exclusive feedback and tips for optimization. And it also gives us access to beta programs that haven't been released to the public. We're also like partners with Facebook and Microsoft. On the bottom left, those are our Google reviews. So if you Google us, Soulpepper Legal Marketing, you see what our previous and current clients are talking about us. And we're very proud to have a five-star rating across the board. On the right, the bottom right, in 2017, we were voted the 26th fastest growing startup in Canada, not just for marketing, but for all of the industries. And the reason we would like to put that up here is because we are a growing business ourselves. We started small in 2013, and we're growing. So everything we do for ourselves, we pass it on to our clients. The middle one, the green, the Glassdoor. If you're not familiar with it, Glassdoor it's a website where employees can rate the employer and former employers. So anyone can go there, talk about their experience in the company, if they have any feedback to the management, talk about the hiring process that they went through. So if someone's looking for a job, they can get the feedback. We're very happy and proud to have over 25-star reviews from current and past employees. And the reason we have this up here is because we believe that happy employees do good work, and our clients, at the end of the day, they benefit from it. So now let's talk about your online presence here. So why does your online presence matter? It matters because we, as a society or as a community or as users, we don't go online, we live online. So everything we do is on our mobile devices, on our tablet, on our computer, desktop. That could be for personal or work-related things. So here are just some examples of people looking up recipes, looking up for bus time schedule information, how to tie a tie. That's how I learned to tie my own tie as well. It was through YouTube. And what that allows us to do is to reach the right customer in the right moments. So from the time we wake up, we're connected to our devices. So we spend a lot of time on it. So making sure that we're getting to the right person at the right time makes a big difference. So our Facebook wrap, they provide us with this like daily timetable of how people might be engaged with their social media on their day-to-day. From the time they wake up to the time they go to bed. I can tell you for sure that like between wake up and eat breakfast, I do check my my phone before and check my social media, and I check after breakfast as well. Like I check quite a few times. I don't drive to work. I either bike or take the transit when I used to. So I'll always be on my phone as well. So I do spend a lot more time on my own device than this example here, but it just gives you some perspective of someone who's not overly active on social media. That they have like at least five different touch points throughout the day. And this is like information from Google. They doing their own research, they found that the average consumer unlocks their phone 115 times per day. So that could be to check a message, to check emails, to check their social media, to browse things on the internet. And it's like an awful lot of times. So we do spend a lot of time there. Our attention is dedicated to our devices. And on top of that, our attention spans has been getting shorter and shorter and shorter. I showed this slide in my last presentation as well. This is a study done by Microsoft. So in 2000, the human's attention span was 12 seconds. In 2013, went down to 8 seconds, which is a second slower than a goldfish. That's why Google, Facebook, and a lot of the big players, they consider an impression anyone that's seen your ad for more than 3 seconds. So that's like the amount of time that people consider that you have to make an impact with your consumer. That could be on Google or Facebook or social media. Just think how people engage with Instagram and Facebook these days. They're just like scrolling through the news feed. So we definitely want to provide something that will captivate their attention and provide value. So now you may ask, why social media? People's attention spans are short, but they do spend a lot of time on it. Here's some information from Facebook directly. On their own study, they say that people spend 3 hours on their mobile device in average. They check their social media apps in average like 80 times a day. That could be any social media, not just Facebook or Instagram. They have more access to other apps as well. And the other thing, like I think the fourth point here, you probably have done this yourself. You customize your home screen on your phone to have your favorite apps. And often that includes Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever they may be. You'll be one of the top most accessed apps on your device. And what that matters, it matters because those apps, they influence people. So there's like, this is specific for millennials, which I think is anyone between, I think, 25 and 35 or 38. I might be a little bit off there, but it's around that age group. They usually take an action, like a buying action, after being inspired or motivated by a post. And 33% of shoppers research a mobile before buying on a desktop or going offline. So when they say shoppers, is anyone taking a buying action. That could be schedule an appointment to a dentist or schedule an appointment with a lawyer as well. So mobile, your social media posts can make a big influence on the decision-making process for the consumer here. We ranked the top social media platforms in 2020 by the number of actively users on a monthly basis. So Facebook is by far the most popular platform in the world. It has, and every month they have almost 2.5 billion active users, and they're followed by Instagram, which is similar to Facebook, but it's most for pictures and videos. Reddit, which is a forum, people share questions and they provide like specific groups about specific topics there. Snapchat, Twitter, Pinterest, and LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is the bottom here, but it's still a very powerful social media for specific purposes. They have less active users on a monthly basis, but the people that have active, they're very specific for professionals, people looking to grow their careers or looking for information related to the business. You can see in the middle column here, I added the year they were founded. And the reason I added this is just to highlight that social media is not something new. Facebook's been around for 16 years. The youngest social media here is Snapchat, which has been around for 9 years. So they're like very established parts of the digital world in all aspects. So it's not something that you can just overlook and say it's a trend, it's a fad, because it's not. People use that on a daily basis. They're here to stay. So we want to make sure we get people where it matters the most. But now for a law firm, which ones are the most important? So we highlight the ones we think is the most crucial for any law firms. And that will be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. For today's webinar, I'm only going to talk about Facebook and Instagram. They are the largest one, the most accessible in terms of investment. LinkedIn can be quite expensive for you to advertise there or just to grow your organic presence. Twitter has a lot of noise, so it's hard to get through it. So Facebook and Instagram, they are the most accessible one. And by the number of people that use it is the lowest hanging fruit here for us to cover. So why Facebook? So one thing that's important to highlight here is that Facebook is not just Facebook. Facebook has a very large network of apps and websites. So Facebook owns Instagram. Facebook owns WhatsApp as well. They have the Messenger app, and they have the Audience Network, which is websites have allowed Facebook to use their website for advertisement. So you might be advertised on Facebook, but people might be seeing your ads on specific websites that have opted to be part of a Facebook's network. So your reach can be very, very high and very, very specific here. So we want to make sure that we want to reach clients or potential clients where they are. So it's all mobile all the time. You need to make sure everything you do is catered to mobile. People do spend a lot of time with the desktop computers, but first they're their mobile device. So we want to make sure that that mobile experience is optimized. You can also do personalization for your posts at a scale. So what that means is that if you're catered to, if you're a law firm, you provide service in different languages, you can make sure that you're only reaching people that speak the language through your posts. You can be very catered to your own community. If you're talking about immigration, what are the countries that you work most with, you can make sure that you provide a value to them. And the other thing too that I'm sure you feel the same way, maybe even if you don't realize, there's a very like increased expectation for brands online. So if you go to buy something online, you go to the Gap store, you go to what is another one, Hudson's Bay, you expect them to provide a seamless experience for you to buy something. Like the level of expectations are extremely high. So what that does, like you might give slack for smaller companies that are trying to come in and provide value, but the expectation is there. So you want to make sure that you're providing value on mobile devices, that the content you provide is personalized to your community, and that their own experience is like seamless, that they're happy with it. So I added this here, and I'll explain what this means. As a summary of why your online image matters. So on the top left here, the desk, the chair, this is your physical office. I'm sure a lot of you put a great deal of effort and resources to make sure your office represents what you do. You have like comfortable waiting chairs, you have a nice desk, there's a good presentation, because when people go there, that's part of the experience. It's part of the services you offer. So for them to refer someone, which is the bottom left one, they first need to have a good experience on your office. But online, your website is your virtual office. So you want to make sure you provide the same experience of your physical office on your website, because when people go there, that's how they perceive you. That's how they will interpret what you offer, your quality. Are you providing an experience that is optimized for mobile? What are people talking about you on social media? And is the content there is specific to your community? So everything is connected. So people using Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like social media in general, adds a way to refer you to someone else. But when they refer you through social media, they won't necessarily just walk into your office or give you a call right away. They're going to check out your credentials online. They're going to go to your website and see your bio, how long you've been in business. Do you have any success stories that is related to their struggles? And they're gonna check your online reviews on social media, Facebook, on Google. So everything's connected. So more than ever, I think the pandemic we're going through has allowed or kind of forced people to put a lot more thought on their online presence. I talk to a lot of clients that they say, "Oh, I will improve my website later on. I'll create a Facebook page later," but now is the time. There's no later. People are virtually now, and you want to make sure you're catering to them the best way you possibly can to provide that additional experience for them. So just think of your website as your physical office, and think of your social media as a satellite office, as an additional location you have to reach people, that people can come in and experience your services. And just to highlight what everything I just said, like this is information from Google. So in average, it takes 7 interactions before a person takes a buying action online. So what that means is that someone might visit your website 3-4 times. They might see your Facebook, your social media profiles twice. They might check out your reviews on Google, even before they make a phone call to schedule an appointment. So all those touch points are crucial for the consumer's decision-making process. So you want to make sure that all of your online presence is connected and up to date and catered to your target audience. So what you need to know now more than ever, and I'm talking now about the COVID-19 pandemic. This is a quote we got from Forbes magazine just this month. They're specifically talking about the legal industry and how much it's changing. So they're talking about the competition for clients, for consumers will intensify post-corona world, because more people are connected. They know how to research for business. They know what to look out for. So you need to provide a solution that the consumers are looking for. So you just being for a legal practice being passive online, you won't be enough anymore. You need to be active. You need to provide value. You need to make sure that your experience that you've done offline in courts, with your education, with your actual experience, is translated to your online presence. This we got some information from a couple major websites that do online research, so ComScore and Nielsen. So on the top one, you can see how people are engaged with mobile apps during the pandemic. So most things have remained the same, like video, productivity, communication, they're fairly stable. But social media has seen a pretty significant spike of usage from January 1st to now. And I think that's part because the major entertainment companies and industries and influencers, and even companies, they're turning to social media to connect with their audience. So people spend a lot more time there, and you want to make sure you reach them where they are. The bottom table, it just shows how people are engaged with email, social media, and messaging apps in Canada specifically. And you can see at the bottom of the social networking, the number of minutes has increased by 36%. That's way more than email and instant messaging here. Everything has gone up, but not as much as social networking. Here's another study that Global Web Index performed just last month to see how people are perceiving brands. So we highlight a few that we think it's important and relevant for law firms. So when you provide some information, make sure you're providing value. There's a usage for them on their lives that if you're still able to help clients, that you can at least offer flexible payment terms to help them relieve if they're going through some struggles at this time. So running advertisement that shows what steps you're taking to help your community, help your company, and support your clients. People see that as a positive impact on the impression of your brand as well. Another one is like providing funny and lighthearted videos to entertain people can be a relief right now. So there's different ways you can approach and take this to improve your brand presence for consumers in these days. And some rules to live by here. So make sure that everything you do is current. So if you post something today, it might not be relevant or accurate 2 weeks from now. So make sure that you go back to it and you add an update. So when people look you up, they're not just seeing information from 2 days ago that's no longer current. Adapt to what people are looking for. If you can offer any services online, virtually, make sure you do. Diversify your formats. So right now you might be communicating with prospect clients from phones, phone calls, or emails. Make sure you're making yourself available through social media chats, because people are spending time there. If they're looking for something, they're not going to leave the app they're currently in to take an action. Like it just adds another hurdle for them. So if you're able to respond to their social media questions through private channels, that's also recommended. Engage with them. If someone sends you a question or you post something and someone comments, reply back. Make sure that people know you're working and you're on top of the things, that you're there to help them with anything they need. Leverage your community. Provide them with tools that can be helpful. If you're an immigration lawyer, you can provide updates from the Canadian government website about wait times for visa, for what kind of application is going through, how they can check their wait times for the specific process. Those are things that people will see value in, and that you can be the driver for those benefits for them. And then stay positive. I think that's the underlying messaging here. No one knows what's going to happen, how long the lockdown is going to continue anywhere. Like in every province, in every city, every state is different. So be positive, but don't be overly optimistic, because you want to be realistic as well. So optimize your social media profile. So this is the next level. And before I get into that, I do have a question for everyone here. So out of everyone here, how many of you have a Facebook page for your law firm? So let me send here. I'll send this poll. Publish. All right, so I just add a poll to the chat. So if you can just take a few seconds to say if you do have a Facebook page set up for your firm or not. I just want to see how many of you are already on social media. And I'll take this time to have a sip of water. Very good, very good. Lots of answers. I want to wait 10 more seconds. Just if you're still looking for the poll, if you're looking at the presentation, there should be a chat on the right side. At least that's how it is from my screen. And you can provide an answer there. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to end the poll here. So 76% of people that responded do have a Facebook page, but 23% don't. So this is great to know. Not everyone is on social media, but you should be. And if you already are, we need to make sure your page is optimized. So what that looks like, here's our own Facebook profile page, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to guide you here from the top left. So the top left, you can see the profile image. That this can be a headshot of one of your lawyers. It can be the logo of your firm as well. Just underneath that, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, but I'll use here. But just underneath the image, you can see specific tabs for home, reviews, photos, videos. Those tabs can be customized as well for your own practice. So if you don't have any events, you can hide the event tab. You can hide the community tab. And they have additional tabs that you can add here so people can easily find the information they're looking for if they come to your Facebook profile page. On the top of the page, this is your cover image. It can also be a video. So you want to make sure it's something that describes who you are, what do you do. It's in line with your brand as well. And then just underneath this, we have these two buttons, the sign up button and send a message. These are called call to action buttons. Those ones can also be customized. So if you you can change this to make a phone call, visit our website, send us a private message. So there's different things you can add here, depending on what action you want users to take. And then you can see, like, even though we are very active on social media, we post a lot of things. The first thing that Facebook's showing here is not the posts we do, but is the recommendations and reviews that clients have done to us in the past. It's because Facebook cares what people say about you, and that makes a difference. It also adds a lot of credibility for your business. So having like a 5 out of 5 rating can make a difference if someone's comparing a law firm that has a 3 out of 5 with someone that has like 4.5 out of 5. So they're gonna read the reviews. Some bad reviews that I've seen out there, they're unreasonable, and I feel like the average person can read through it and make their own assessment. But before they do that, those numbers make a difference. And then just here on the bottom right, because it was cut off the screen, I add on the right, it's about the firm, about your business. So you can add your specific address. There's a link for people to get directions as well. The phone number, if they're on a mobile device, they can just click and make an easy phone call. They can send a message. You have the website address. For law firms, you can actually add here law firm. You can have a family lawyer. There's different categories. predetermined by Google, by Facebook, that you can select here so people know what kind of services you offer. So you want to make sure this is like a fully connected and holistic experience, like for the user. And the next one here is an Instagram page. So we didn't use ours. We actually used one of our clients, McLeish Orlando. They're based in Toronto. So they have a very nice Instagram presence. So I decided to showcase this one here. So on Instagram, we have the logo as well on the top, the profile image. It has the number of followers, how many people they're following. It says what they offer here, legal services. And you can add a description about you, your phone number. You can add your address as well. And those are clickable links. Here are the call to action buttons. So you can follow the page, you can send them a private message, or you can contact them by going to their website. And here are the posts they've been doing. So everything gets added here. So just, as you can see, it adds a lot of value for someone who's looking for a specific service, just to come into this page and have this overview of what the firm offers. And the fact there's like the Instagram has 1 billion active users on a monthly basis. You want to make sure that your business information is up to date and accurate here. So what kind of posts, type of ads and posts you can do on Facebook? So the first one and most standard, and if you ever used Facebook or Instagram in the past, is just a static photo. So this one here is it's an ad. So you can see that it says sponsored right under the page name, and you can have a call to action here. So the difference for the organic one is that you won't say sponsored, and you won't have this gray section. It'll be just the image. The other type that we have here is video. So you can do videos on organically and as ads as well. So those videos can be information for your clients. You can just give an update saying, hey guys, we are reopening a firm, but we're taking online consultations. Let us know if you have any questions. We're available on social media as well. And just it gives them more contacts for what you do, because they're already browsing their newsfeed on those apps. We have stories. So if you don't have Instagram and Facebook, you might know what this is. I'm actually going to jump back a few slides here. So it's stories. They appear on the top here, the profile image. And when people click on it, there's a takeover of an entire screen that shows you the stories. And you can save some stories here as well. So people can, if you have a specific story about your office, you can add them here. And there's other information that you can share, so people can easily come back to it and find things you shared in the past. So I'm going to go back forward here. Yeah, so those are stories. It can be videos, it can be static images as well. Those are Messenger ads. So if you use Facebook Messenger, you can have an ad that says, are you looking for a personal injury lawyer? Let us know how we can help. And if they click on it, a chat will start. And we can add information that's automatic for them to select, as you can see in this example. If they say, hey, would you like to schedule a call with one of our lawyers? If they say yes, you can say, these are the times we have available, and then people can just go and select the time. And so you're talking to a potential client without having to do the talk. So the app will do all that automatically for you. But you do need to set up the information first so they can choose. The other type of ads and posts we can do is a carousel post. So people can go through different images, and at the end, there'll be a link to your website. So this is what it looks like. So they can scroll with the fingers here. But now, so those are the type of ads you can do. But what should you say? Like, what kind of content should we share with your followers? So that's a big question, and we do have some recommendations here. So there's more than this, but we highlighted the 4 main ones that we think will provide the most value, and they're the easiest thing for you to get started. So the first one is brand awareness posts. So this is about your firm, about your own experience. So you can talk about your team. You can highlight, if you have a firm with like 3, 4 lawyers, every month you can highlight a different one and say, hey, Lucas here has been working in family law for 10 years, providing a lot of help and support to the Toronto community. Like, contact him if you want to have more information. So just like things that talks about your credibility in a way that it can help someone make the decision. If you have any client testimonials, it is a great place to share as well. I understand some of them might be, they may not want to name themselves, so you can hide the name. You can use initials for this. If someone emails you a good feedback or review, you can share them without the name, and it just provides value for people and adds credibility to your business as well. Other things you can do is share articles and tips that have been done by reputable publications out there. So those are just 2 examples that we found recently. One is How to Tell Kids About Divorce, an age-by-age guide. So this is an article done by parentmagazine.com. And there's another one that's very topical on what's happening right now. So how are parents supposed to deal with joint custody right now? If they're locked down, how are they supposed to go from one place to the other? So this is very relevant to what's happening. People are going through that struggle right now. So by you just sharing the article and providing some insights on it, it can add a lot of value and set you up as the thought leader that you are in the legal community. Other things that you can have, you can address like popular questions that relevant to your practice of area and community. So if you get a lot of questions about what is spousal support, you can do a post and say, what is spousal support? And provide your answer. And just say, if you need more information, you require support, please contact your team. Or if someone is looking for a personal injury lawyer, but they don't know if they need one, questions that come up all the time, do I need a lawyer for my personal injury claim? Not necessarily, but it could make a big difference. So provide that value to them on a regular basis, make a big difference. And if you do have blog posts on your website, make sure you're sharing them on every social media you have. It's just more content for your firm and adds more credibility and traffic back to your website as well. So what is the difference between organic and paid posts? So organic post means it's something that you do just to reach people naturally. So you're not paying for that. You're just sharing content on your social media. So this is great for your brand presence, to connect with your existing followers and community and build credibility. The benefits of paid posts is that you can reach the right audience, you can get your message out faster and more effectively, and you can optimize for business results. So what that means is that your followers right now may not be your target audience anymore. Some practices, you don't usually have a repeat rate. So if you're doing family law and dealing with divorce and child custody, it's unlikely that person will come back with the same problem. They might come back for a will or something related to that, but it's not as common. But if you're an immigration lawyer, someone who did a visa for you might come back for a citizenship claim or an immigration, a permanent residency, and then they might come back for sponsorship for the parents. So there's a more of a repeat. Same for criminal. We see with the lawyers. Usually, criminal lawyers do see a repeat rate, so that people do come back. So the point is that your organic followers might not be your target audience anymore. So to reach new ones, the paid ads is the way to go here. So one of the challenges that we have with organic posts is that what I just said, not all page followers will see your, might be your target audience, and then not everyone that follows you will see your post. So Facebook has its own algorithm to decide who's going to see your post. So if you share a post organically on Facebook, Facebook and Instagram, for that matter, is going to show to 5% of the followers. If those 5% engage with the post, it's they will show to another 5%. If those next 5% engage with the post, they'll show to the next 5% until no one engages that anymore. So if the first 5% of the people that saw your post don't engage with it, no one else will see it. So sometimes your reach becomes close to zero. So there's a little information that is provided by Google, by Facebook itself, and they're gonna see, like, depending on the type of post you share, if it's an image, if it's just a text post or a video or a link, Facebook's gonna see which ones are most popular, and they're gonna show that more and more often. So that's one of the challenges we have with organic, but it's still very important for people that are looking for more information on your firm. They might go to your Facebook profile, scroll down your posts, and see how active you are, what kind of information you're sharing as well. So paid posts, it has a lot of benefits. So the first one is that it's fairly inexpensive compared to Google. So I would say like $100 on Facebook goes much, much further than Google, because the intention for Facebook is more of a brand awareness and make sure that you're getting to people that are looking for your business, but based on their online behavior, not what they're searching online. So there's just a lot more chance for you to show up to people here. So it becomes cheaper than Google. The targeting capabilities of Facebook, it's absolutely amazing. And I'm going to show an example in the next 2 slides. You can also show the right message at the right time. What that means is that if someone's looking for a lawyer, for a personal injury lawyer, right now it's an urgent matter, your ad can cater to them. If you're just looking to see if they need a lawyer to do a claim, you can also provide the message. So it's like a softer approach based on their needs. You can also control how often someone sees your ads to keep it relevant. So there's a metric on Facebook that's called frequency. So it's basically how often the same person is seeing your ad. So if you're getting to like more than 3 times, which means that someone's seeing your ad 3 times every week or every day, we want to make sure that's like, let's change the message and keep it relevant. So we have that visibility and control with paid ads. So the targeting capabilities for paid ads is very powerful. So you can select locations by postal code, by neighborhood, by radius from a specific location. You can target specific age groups, genders, specific language. So if you offer service in Chinese and Spanish, you can do ads in those languages just for those people as well. You can include or exclude specific people based on their behavior and online interests. And then you can also do custom audiences. This one's a really powerful one. So if you have been in business for 10, 20 years, you might have like a very long list of clients that you helped in the past. If you have their email addresses and the name and phone number, we can use that information to target people that are similar to those you've already helped. So it's like you're creating like lookalike audiences. You can also remarket people that have engaged with your posts in the past or that visit your website, so they can see information that's relevant to them. Here's an example of what a targeting looks like on Facebook. So how detailed and granular you can get here. So in this example here, I'm targeting just the province of Ontario. I'm targeting anyone 35 plus, both all genders, and I'm including people that are parents of kids 6 to 17 only. They are interested in family law or divorce court. So what that means, it means that their online behavior has indicated that that they're looking for service around the area, and they also must be married. So someone needs to fit all those criterias. They need to be in this age group, in this location, for them to see your ads. And in Ontario, we can reach over 200,000 people that fit those criteria here. So it just kind of shows how relevant and granular you can be here. So Facebook Insights and Google Analytics. So this is a big one. Facebook provides a lot of information on the followers you have, who they are, where they're looking for, and what kind of posts they're engaging on your page. So if you're the admin of your page, you should be able to see this bar above the on the top of the page that has your inbox, notifications, and this one called Insights. If you go to it, you can see a lot of different metrics. So I highlight a few here that's relevant. So the top one, you can see what days of the week people are engaged most with your posts. For our case here, it's fairly even out, so there's no outliers. Sometimes, depending on what you do, you might see Monday having a spike if people are looking for information during business hours, or if you provide something that people are more likely to search on weekends. Saturday and Sunday might have like a higher number. You can also see what time of day people are most active on your page. If you're based in BC, but you also help people in Ontario on the East Coast, on the east side of the country, your time might be a little bit skewed, just because your 3 a.m. is like their 6 a.m. or your 6 a.m. is going to be their 9 a.m. So you might have like a huge spike of 6 a.m. on your page because that's your time zone, but that's because people in Ontario or in Halifax, whatever they may be, are looking for information on their time zone. So you can kind of see what is the best time for you to share information. You can also see who's following your page. Are they women, men? What kind of their age group as well? So you can see if that matches your demographic. Let's say if you're a family lawyer and you know that most of your clients are 30 plus, but your Facebook page, most of the followers are between 25 and 34, maybe your followers are not your actual target audience. So that's something that you want to use ads to go around that and reach people that matters the most to you. And here's an example of like what type of posts you have and how popular they are. So in this example here, I have 2 videos and 1 image, and then how many people they reach. So this one it reached only 61 people. This one 36, but this one here reached almost 2,000 people. So you can see like this type of videos is more popular than the other ones. So it provides you more insights what we should be sharing here. The other thing that you should consider as well is using Google Analytics. So Google Analytics is not on Facebook, it's on your own website. But what that does, it allows you to track information and visits from Facebook to your website and what kind of pages and information they're looking within your website. So it allows you to have like a standard measurement across all channels. That's because the way Facebook and Google Ads track their conversions is different. So, but if you drive them all to Google Analytics and use Google Analytics as the benchmark, they can be all the same. You can understand who's visiting your website, what kind of information they're looking for, where they are, what language they speak, and what kind of device they're using as well. And the benefit of Google Analytics is that it's accessible for people that are not programmers. So once it's set up, anyone can go in and look up specific information there. Let's see here. So with all that in mind, I went through a lot of things here. I talked about the number of people using social media, how relevant it is now, what kind of posts you can do, some of the features for the organic and paid posts, about some of the data they offer back to you. But now, how can you manage like different social medias like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn? It is a full-time job for many people to do that, the social media management. And knowing that law firms and lawyers in general, they're busy with their own business, we brought some tools that can be helpful for you. So the first one is Hootsuite. This is a Vancouver-based company. It's one of the first ones to be the I think they call the walrus for Canada, but it's the unicorn that's worth over $1 billion. So it's an extremely powerful tool that allows you to schedule posts for different channels at different times. It allows you to track what people are saying about your brand online, and you can monitor different streams or channels of places you're present, and it helps you keep everything up to date. The second one is Buffer. So Buffer is very similar to Hootsuite. It allows you to publish posts for specific channels. It supports the top 5 channels, which is Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and Instagram. It has a very modern and easy-to-use interface. It's a much more accessible price point than Hootsuite, mostly because they don't offer everything else that Hootsuite does. And those are great tools if you need help managing your social media. So one thing that those tools don't offer is what kind of content you should be adding. It lets you share anything, but you need to come up with a topic. So with that in mind, our team at Soulpepper, we had something planned out for the end of the year, but because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we decided to kind of push forward and launch something within the next week, which is a resource center for legal clients. So this one here, it won't let you schedule posts like Buffer and Hootsuite because those tools are already let you do all that really well. But here, we are providing legal clients that are part of this membership access to ready-to-use posts. So it's not very easy to read on this screenshots here, so I apologize for that. But basically, we have specific posts for each day of the week in a specific month. So let's say we recommend people to share 3 posts every week at different times based on the areas of law they practice. So on Monday, it could be something about your firm. On Wednesday, it could be an article that you found that's relevant to your to your clients. And on Friday, it could be a question that you get all the time. So we already wrote all up those questions, and they're ready to be used at your own pace. We provide images as well. With this membership, you also get a brand new branded website on WordPress that's SEO optimized, and you get a series of how-to guides catered for legal professionals. So if you don't have a Facebook page, we have the step-by-steps on how to create a Facebook page for your business, and what kind of tabs you should add there, what kind of images. So everything is kind of like the work is done. You just need to follow the recipe, basically. So those are the tools and resources that we have for you. And that's the end of it. Good. So this was just shy of an hour, which is within the time limit I wanted to have. So now it's time for questions. And I know you guys have been adding some questions here, so I have them tagged. I'll go through it. But if you have more, please add them here. I can't see some of the private questions right now, but I'll look into this in a second. But I'm going to go through here and see what kind of questions you guys asked when I was talking. Let me see here. Okay, Carlos Garcia, thanks for clarifying that. It was just about the family law. You do have returning clients on for child custody and support issues. So that's it's good to know. I wasn't thinking about the spousal support parts of it. I was just more thinking about the divorce. I know people might get divorced more than once, but that was the example that I had in my mind. But you're totally right. There's more into it than than I try than I mentioned. Let's see. There's other questions here. If my competitors have more followers and reviews, what's a good strategy to keep up with them? So this is a really good question. Some law firms, they've spent a lot of time and resources on their social media presence, and it can be a scary step to go forward and try to compete with them. But the beauty of it is that you can. Everything you share, your brand information, it can make a big difference. So the number of followers is not is something you're going to grow over time. So if someone has 5,000 followers and someone has 150, but the 150 you have, they're engaged with you, they're engaged with your posts, and they're providing good feedback, that can be a lot more impactful than having 5,000 followers. They're not engaged with what you're sharing. So being connected and tuned in with what people are looking for makes a big difference. So like that personal touch. One way that you can increase your number of reviews is simply by asking people. So if you have a successful case you had in the past and people are happy with the outcome, ask them, would you be willing to share your feedback on social media for me? And provide them the link to give you a review on an email. It's easier for them. They'll be like, sure. If they wrote something on an email, say like, thank them for the feedback and the positive review, and say, would you mind sharing the same thing? Just copy and paste that on Facebook and Google. Will go a long way for me. So those things you can do and just kind of take the step one. That's what the marketing strategy is. Don't try to be someone who's been doing this and putting a lot of money and resource for the last 2, 3, 5 years. Don't try to be there just yet. Just take the first step one by one, and over time, when you least expect, you have built like a big online presence for yourself. So Ian Goldman here, he asked, what minimum investment is required to make social media marketing worthwhile? This is a really good question, and the answer is vague because it depends. So it depends where you're marketing, where you're targeting. If you have a specific city or a specific province you work with, I think I would say Facebook, it's worthwhile is also relative. Like, so what's your goal with the Facebook ads? So are you trying to get more cases? So if that's the case, it might take a little bit of time to build a brand image and make sure that you're targeting people the right way. So the biggest difference between social ads and Google ads, the search ads, is that for Google, someone's on Google specifically typing for your services. They're looking for an immigration lawyer in Mississauga. They're looking for a family lawyer in Calgary. So those are very relevant terms that people are actively searching for. So it becomes a lot more expensive, a lot more competitive. For Facebook, Facebook is determining who is qualified for that based on their online behavior. And so they might not be ready to take the action. They're just spending time on social media. So the time for them to contact you might be a little bit longer than Google. So I would say I would invest, as a rule of thumb, it's hard to say. I would say with a few $100s, you can start doing some brand awareness on Facebook, and you can start getting more elaborate over time. And that can go up to 500. We have lawyers that spend a couple grand on social media. You don't need to go that high, depending on the size of your firm. You can start with like $500 a month. It's a small investment for brand awareness. And I've seen that in my own experience, and I've seen studies that say that as well. The more social ads and display ads you have running, the more search volume you get on Google. Because someone might see your ad on Facebook and then they might not click on it because they're just taking a break from reality. But they might Google your name, your law firm's name on Google later on. So you're kind of building the brand awareness. So the conversion might come from Google, but Facebook, it was the stepping stone for them to get to Google and search you in the first place. I hope that provides some clarification more than confused you guys. Maud, pricing. So what is the pricing you're asking for? So I would say for investment for Facebook would depend. I think Facebook can start small and build it up over time. That's something that's very possible to do as well. There's another question here. Let me see. Can the same content that is created for blogs be cross-posted on social media, or should it be different? I think 100% it should be. Like, optimize your efforts. Things that you share on your website might not be reaching a lot of people. So use the same information. You might just present them slightly different. So on Facebook, your blog post might be very detailed, a lot of information, a lot of steps, which is great for value. But on social media, you want to share the link on Facebook and say, like what to do during a child custody dispute. What steps should you take? What documents do you need to apply for a study permit in Canada or a study permit in Nova Scotia or in Ontario? Be more specific. It can be just like a headline question and a link to your blog post. So you're adding that value to users' social media, utilize the content you already created. So 100%. Yeah, those are really good questions, guys. I really appreciate this. Is there anything else you guys have in your mind you want to ask? This is the time. The other thing too, before I forget and before people start dropping off, is that we are happy to schedule a 30-minute consultation with someone in our team. Could be myself, could be Mahan, another director that we have in the firm, in the agency, just to talk about your goals, what you're looking for, and how what things you can do to improve your online presence, like during this pandemic, and set you up for success for the post-pandemic world. Is return on investment better on Google or Facebook ads? I'm gonna say Google, because usually the return on investment is how many leads you get, right? So you're likely gonna be able to pinpoint more leads on Google just because people are actively searching for specific service. But Facebook can play a very vital role in driving people to search for your firm, for your services, where you offer them. And then if they see something from your image on social media and then they find you on Google, they're more likely to contact you because they've already had an experience. Like they already know your brand, so they know you're around, they know what you offer. So I would use Facebook as a supporting role for Google when it comes to ads. This is unrelated to your organic presence. Your organic presence should be continue on words and just active, because people are going to check out your page, your social media pages, to make the decision. Like, who's a better lawyer for what I need? A, B, C, or D. And what they have online is what is going to influence the decision. All right. What are the risks of using social media, and how do you deal with unfavorable comments? This is a really good question. I think there's steps you can do. So for organic. So I'll talk about organic first. So organic, I think you need to have a Facebook page and Instagram page for your business. That's step one, and you should be active on them as well, because having a Facebook page that hasn't been updated in 2 years, it might give the impression that you're not in business anymore, that you're not active. So all those things can play a negative role on how people perceive your company. It's like going to a website that hasn't been updated in 3 years. It's like, okay, are they still working the firm? Like, what's happening? So that's the risk. Like, keeping something that's not updated can be a problem. So making sure that you're active and have content to share is extremely important. Second thing, on Facebook, you can add negative keywords. So you can add words that are any swear words will be automatic. You can have like a, what is it called? It's kind of censor level. So you can say, anyone can say, write anything on my page. Or you can say, I want a moderate censorship. So if someone says something that has a swear word or anything that's sensitive, it won't be public to everyone to see, and you have to approve it. And you can have one that's extremely the high moderation, which is if someone talks about any negative things that you predetermined there, that if you say this place is bad, like you can negative the word bad, and anytime someone writes a comment in your post that says bad, that information, that comment will be hidden to other users, and you can review them before making them available. If you get a negative review on Facebook and on Google as well, it's a really good chance for you to turn it around, because people do read the reviews and they also review how you respond to them. I mentioned earlier that the average user can usually read, can kind of sense if someone's being unreasonable on their review, someone's just having a bad day or just have unrealistic expectations. So by you addressing them, say, hey, I don't have your, if the name of the person is like not in your list, you can say, hey, I don't remember working anyone with that name. I'm sorry you had a negative experience with my firm. If you have anything specific, please reach out to me directly. Here's my email. So it shows that you're not shying away from feedback. You're there, you're present. If they use any negative language in terms of swear word, we can usually flag those reviews, because they are breaking the Facebook's privacy, Facebook's policy for language usage. So there's different things you can do to protect yourself, but those are the main things. I talked a lot, but just to recap what I said, you can address negative reviews that can often provide a positive impact on them for people that are reading through them. And if there's any negative posts, you can add a filter for what kind of words you don't want to appear in your comments. I got a private message here asking how long it takes to set up. So if you don't have a Facebook page or anything set up, we can usually get this set up within a week or two. That's something our team can turn around fairly quickly. When it comes to ads, I would say 3 to 4 weeks, because we want to do some research beforehand. We want to see who you're targeting. And then for the ads, we want to make sure your website is also optimized to track those leads. We don't want to send leads from Facebook to your website if we can track them, because that way we won't be able to optimize. If someone goes to a black hole that's not being tracked, we don't know if they're calling you, if they're being quality leads or not. So that for the ads, it takes a little bit longer, but for organic, it's a very quick turnaround. I've just realized the importance of a good review. Is there a product service to help increase them, like a listing page to reach more clients and get good reviews? James does an excellent question. So there are, we use a proprietary tool that we can add an email list or database that you or your firm may provide, and we can send them reminders by email for them to provide feedback to you. So that feedback they provide, the review, it goes to you, and you can approve if that goes to Google or not. It gives you a chance to kind of like filter what kind of feedback you're getting. So if they send you a negative feedback, like a 1-star review, like first of all, it's good for you to know what didn't work out for the client, so you can address them in private. But if they have a positive experience, you can take that in as well, thank them, and you can allow that to be available in your Google listing and Facebook listing as well. So there are tools that we could use to kind of help you increase the number of reviews you have for your firm. Do you have a month-to-month contract? So a private question here. So we do. We don't have long-term contracts. So we have everything we do is month-to-month, no long terms. We like to work in 90-day cycles. What that means is that if we start something, we launch something today, we're not going to say it's not working within 3 weeks. We're going to test it out and make sure we have enough data, enough performance to say, hey, this is not working. Of course, if there's red flags, we'll address them and be responsive right away. But no month-to-month contract. Sorry, no long-term contracts for Soulpepper. Is month-to-month and 30-day cancellation policy in general. That's pretty standard. And to see if what's working. So the investment is very accessible. What type of posts should I have on my page? Also, how often should I make new posts? So what I mentioned earlier is that things that people are looking for in on your firm. So if the example I keep coming back to is family law. So if you have things about how to talk to your children about divorce, things that like is not relevant to like in the legal world, but it provides a lot of emotional support and value to people going through that experience. That can be something that it sets you apart from everyone else. If you're an immigration lawyer, what can you do to help you support in your claim on your visa application and your permanent residence application? All those things can go a long way, and they can also like help you have a better qualified lead when they come to you. Because if they're following your posts, they're following the steps, the information you provided, when they come to you, if they have everything ready, is an easier client. So it's like all their work is being done by them, and you can just kind of like making sure they're set up for success and provide the value that you can. Someone said they have a big list of clients. I'm going to say the number. Been in business for 20 years. Can you send them my new services I'm offering, event wishes? Yes. So it's almost like we can definitely target them, those clients on social media. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a way to upload your email list that you have in your CRM, and we can target those people. We can also create custom leads based on those emails and say anyone on Facebook that matches those criteria can be a target as well. So you can kind of expand your reach. And then the follow-up question here is, can they opt out from anti-spam legislation for auto emails? So if you're targeting them through social media, it's not email marketing. So they don't need to opt out. It's not specific to them. So targeting someone with an email on social media is not part of the anti-spam legislation. So that's completely fair ground and a very common practice that we can do as well. If you want to engage them on email marketing campaign, we do need the consent. So we could send out an email to them, asking them, telling them about who you are, what you offering, if they want to be part of the emails in the future. And then everyone that says yes, we can create an email campaign that's catered to them. Those are really good questions. I'm loving this. It's making me talk a lot. Also, this is a really good question, guys. Anything else? Anything that I said that I might have made it more confusing than clarified? I'm also happy to connect with you guys offline on a one-on-one and talk to you about your business specifically. That's something we can do as well. On the tab on this webinar, next to the chat, there's an offer, which is book a time. So you can schedule a free 30-minute consultation with someone in our team. I think that this link is to my calendar, so you can schedule something with me directly. We can also have someone else on the team to connect with you guys. If my availability doesn't fit your schedule, we'll definitely find a solution. But this was really good. Oh, someone said they already booked an appointment. This is exciting. Awesome. All right, so I want to be respectful of everyone's time. We've been online here for an hour and 17 minutes, but I feel like this was a really good presentation. Since like most people are still here, I can see the number of attendees. Just take this time that we're going through the COVID-19 pandemic to look at your online presence, go through all your online listings, make sure they're up to date. We know everyone's busy with their lives and work, so we're here to help. We have services, a full team that we showed earlier. They're working full time and they're able to help you right now and help you make a difference with your clients. So this is a really good time for you guys to build up the base and foundation, especially if you don't have a Facebook social media presence or you haven't touched that in a long time. Let's get that up to date now. Get things being published on a regular basis for when things are over. You're going to be 2 steps ahead of most of your competition. All right, so with that in mind, I'm going to wrap things up. So thanks everyone for joining. Really appreciate you taking the time. Feel free or please book a 30-minute appointment with your team. Our team will be more than happy to chat with you guys and see what we can do to help you out. Thanks, everyone.